And there we go. Welcome to it, guys. Chronicles of Motion, the focus on the road side of things with the expert on the road, Jeremy Martins. Jeremy, how's it going?
Very lekker. We had a chat with Tyron just now, but I would like to say, from a person who is pro road and track, and I don't follow Mountain Bike because I do, but well done to Alan Hatherley. You have proved that you are one of the best in the business. To go 2 years in a row, that is absolutely incredible. Well done. Well done. You've made South Africa proud. You have inspired a whole generation of youngsters, and good on you.
Yeah, one of only 4 riders to win back-to-back world titles in XCO so far in history. And not only did he win it, he absolutely dominated. I mean, from lap 2 onwards, he was in the lead, and it was his strategy was time trial, as Tyron was saying, and he just kept that throttle open and he kept pacing. And I think he got almost a 2-minute advantage over second place at one stage. And the final lap, he could slow down, enjoy it, and taking the title for South Africa, giving us a gold, also gave us 9th place in the standings at World Champs, with 1 bronze by Tyler Jacobs in the XCC, and the gold by Alan Hatherley. Well done to both of them. Flipping impressive.
I'm going to nitpick here on one thing, on the presentation. It's World Champs, it looks Bayamoy and all this, it was wow. But the national anthem, come on, guys. They could have chosen a slightly better version than that. It was like the national anthem that they bought from Timu. I was a bit disappointed. I mean, and based on this, I was watching the rugby on Saturday morning, and that national anthem had spirit and had fierce. The one that was played there, I'd be for a bit more.
When I've done commentary at AFCONs and national champs, and they want a national anthem played, it's quite interesting because I've got a whole playlist of all the national anthems, and I have to listen to them and check it with every single country as well to make sure it's the right one. And we are down at the bottom end of Africa, although they should have known that like maybe 6 different riders were in the running for winning that event, and check that one. And maybe just the sound coverage didn't do a good job of it for us. And also on top of it, when you play national anthem, say at rugby, everyone sings along because they all know the words to it. Well, most of it. Whereas you do it in Switzerland, all 75 South Africans that are there know the words. The rest of them are Germans, Swiss, French, Italian, Americans.
Like I said, I was nitpicking, and I was just being pedantic. But anyway, again, that was phenomenal, incredible, amazing, awesome, through the roof. You knocked the one out the park with interest. Good job.
No, it was amazing. Anyway, let's get on to all the road activities. Firstly, I want to say that it has been busy. Vuelta Espana wrapping up, Grand Prix Quebec as well. Some big name riders in the mix. Politics mixing up with cycling a little bit as well. The protesters, you heard my opinion on these before, but if they're going to get into protesting, I think they should be sponsoring a team, putting that team in to beat the Israel team. That'll be the way to do it, not the way they're doing it at the moment. They're just making enemies. And I absolutely hate their cause now, because they're stepping beyond their bounds of what they should be. And it's not weird. Cycling isn't in the war, and Israel Premier Tech, it isn't the country sponsoring them. So people understand that. It's an irritation. But anyway, Vuelta was super exciting. The man who couldn't beat Tadej Pogačar was not beatable at the Vuelta. Mads Pedersen back in the mix as well on the sprints, looking super strong. And
just very good. Watching the stage on Saturday, Mads was really looking to get into it. I mean, when for a lot of the stages, myself, I don't watch all of them live, but on Saturday it was a good day. It was rugby in the morning, and then I sat and I watched the stage in the afternoon, and you actually really get a true feel of how good these guys are and how hard they go when you see them the whole stage. And if you just switch over and you see 80 Ks to go and the break is settled in that 2 minutes, you don't get a true reflection of how hard it is to get there. So Mads Pedersen, he's a big goer. He'll let it all out. Egan Bernal, these are good riders. They just go to show how hard they really have to go to get in that break.
Yeah, and talking about Mats Pedersen, he's not a small guy, and
No,
he races. I mean, he's a sprinter, so everyone thinks he sits there and does nothing until it comes to the sprint. No chance. That man is
no.
animating the race in every way, all over the place. He is so busy and so strong and so fit and so capable. So, yeah. Jonas Vingegaard, though, taking the win and like giving a good end of year result for the Visma Lisa Bike guys. Proper result. It does seem to be like those top three teams all the time on the road in the international men's scene. It's UAE, Visma, and Lidl Trek seem to be dominating most of the
But
racing.
if you have a look at the three grand tours this year, the Giro d'Italia, the Tour de France, and Vuelta Espana, this Melissa bike won the Giro,
Yep,
second in the Tour de France, first in the Vuelta Espana. I mean,
it's a big
that's
year. But they all want to
you
win Tour de France. That's the one. When they ask the
yeah.
rider, what would you rather have, a world champs title or a Tour de France stage win? And some of them go, a Tour de France stage win. It's that big. So,
Yeah.
yeah. But yes, it's been an interesting year and a tough racing year. Second place, UAE Emirates in the overall. I know you saw. Good racing, I gotta say, but also some nice camaraderie between the riders, which is quite lucky to see, despite all the times that like the racing was interrupted and stages were shortened and things were moved to be able to accommodate these protesters.
I think adversary always will do one or two things. It will either split people or it will unite people. There was some interesting comments in the earlier part of the Vuelta on certain riders not wanting Israel Premier Tech to be in the race, Matteo Jorgensen, which I think
Yeah,
is utter bullshit. Utter
yeah,
bullshit. I mean, those guys are pros. Every single one of those riders that are in the start are professional riders. They are there
yeah,
to do a job. This is one of the biggest opportunities to showcase what you can do. And for a lot of the riders, it can be a life-changing win. If you win a
yeah,
stage in a Grand Tour, it can change your career. So it just
yeah,
ended up being a mess. And the way it
yeah,
turned out yesterday, it's not good. It's not
yeah.
that's not sport. It shouldn't be that way.
Yeah, and hopefully UCI and the rest of the cycling environment has learned a lesson or two about managing these things in future, and that they're going to have to do something about it. They can't. People can stand on the sideline and wave whatever flag they want, but when
No,
they
that's not.
start to, I heard that riders have been punched by these guys, and like, why? Why? It makes no sense. Go in, and the platform for that game is race each other. So if you want to make your point, put the money in, start a team, get the best riders, and beat the living daylights out of Israel Premier Tech. That's the way to do it. Don't do it by not abiding by the rules, by like outright thuggery, which is what they are. Anyway, let's go on to another race that was really cool, and that was Grand Prix Quebec. And UAE Emirates dominant there. We were discussing that before we came online, talking about Tadej and Brandon McNulty
Yeah.
taking the win there. Two of them riding away from the rest of them, and one of my favorite riders, Quinn Simmons, the American champion, coming in third, which is quite a cool result for him.
Yeah. I think after the Tour de France today's, I think reading up on what's going on online, it sounded like he had a bit of a long lay away,
Right.
obviously
Yeah.
training, keeping himself in good condition, in good shape, just to refresh everything and get ready for Kigali in a couple of weeks' time. I think the fact that he could go there and the way that he rode, yeah, he's in good shape. He'll be good for
Yeah.
the race.
Yeah. So well done to those riders and some good racing out there. But let's get on to the summary of our South Africans, the thing you are so good at, Jeremy. I believe you're
Yeah,
going to
so
start with the ladies this time.
yep, we'll starting off with the ladies. The 3-year, Ashleigh Moolman-Pasio, she is at training camp at altitude, getting herself ready for World Champs. And I think if there is a course that does really suit her, and a course where she can be right up there in the mix and contesting for a really good top spot, I think this would be a good circuit for her. So she's at altitude prepping, getting ready for that. And then our three other ladies, Tiffany, Keep, Maddie, Roux, and Sonora Grove, they were racing this weekend. They get the last races before they would get out to Rwanda or back to South Africa. Tiffany Keep, she raced the Grand Prix Stuttgart. finished mid-pack there. Maddie Roux, after a big crash, she's come back and has gone through a bit of a good racing block. Last week she raced the Tour Femme L'Audace. She also finished around about mid-pack. And then Scenario Grove, she raced on Saturday and Sunday, both races in France. Saturday, the Traverse La Haute de France. She finished 69th. And La Colle Formée on Sunday, which is yesterday. She raced a 1 point pro race. I mean, she's rubbing shoulders with the best of the best in the business. Yeah, she finished also pretty much mid-pack. Yeah, nice to see that our ladies are getting stuck in there and getting ready for Kigali in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah, I am, just by the way, for the riders who don't necessarily get a mention now, I am going to reference the link to the team announcement from CSA so that the guys can see that. In fact, while Jeremy's talking, I'm going to scroll through that full list so that they can see all the riders that are going to be participating at World Champs, because the riding going on at the moment and what Jeremy's talking about is final prep for this World Champs anyway.
Yeah, a lot of these riders will be using this as final sharpening blocks. I would imagine that most of the riders that are in Europe would be at some sort of altitude training camp or preparation phase now. Because Kigali is 2,500 meters, if memory serves me correctly. It's flipping high.
Yeah, I'll also play in the background as you're talking through some of the stuff, the route profile that they've got on YouTube. I'll link that as well later for the guys. So this was while Jeremy's talking, that was the announcement from Cycling South Africa. And the only change that's really happened on there is we've had in the junior men, the reserve was Josh Johnson. He's been moved up into the team. Special consideration for him from the UCI. So that's quite lucky. I mean, you've got 3 junior men in the mix. But
we've got three quality riders. All 3 have gained a lot of international exposure racing in Europe, been performing in Europe, and it's a World Champs. It's World Champs in Africa for South African riders, and a great opportunity to step up and say, I'm here, I'm ready to race.
Yeah, and talking about, I mean, you've just mentioned all these names: Ashleigh, Maddie Roux, Scenario Grove, Tiffany Keep, all internationally experienced riders. All our elite women entered for the event. Under 23, Sonica Klopper, Nadine Visser, Sandra Rasmus, Matthew Horter, Josh Johnson, Byron Munton. Yeah. Anyway, we'll link that later on. So, Jeremy, carry on.
Hop over to our racing men. Just following on what we spoke about a bit earlier. Louis Meintjies, he managed to roll in at 16th place overall on GC. So, Giro d'Italia, 18th. Criterium de Dauphiné, 18th. Vuelta Espana, 16th.
Signal, Jeremy.
Again, can you? Yeah, still, yeah.
There we go. Yes, sorry, lost you for a second.
Giro d'Italia, 18th for Louis. Criterium de Dauphiné, 18th. And then at the Vuelta Espana, rolling at 16th. He's proving again that he is definitely by far South Africa's premier stage race rider. And after the likes of Chris Froome, he is, I'd say, Africa's premier stage race rider.
Yeah, he's had some good results out there, and despite the occasional crash here and there, he's done very well for himself, and taking up a nice mantle role and it takes quite the mental setup to be able to handle the pressure of those Grand Tour leadership roles as well.
Yeah, Louis has been around for a while. He's been around the block. He knows what it takes. He's proven it again and again and again. Yeah. I hate to use the word pity, because pity makes it sound like oof. It's just I would have liked to have seen him at World Champs, fighting fit and raring to go on a circuit like that.
Have I lost you again?
Steve, I can see you. Yeah,
Jeremy. Let me share the World Championship route preview.
Hello.
Oh, there we go. You're back again. Sure. I don't know what happened. Signal seems to be dying. Don't know whether it's you or me.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello. Yeah. Okay, so where did you lose me?
I lost you about 40 seconds ago.
Oh shit.
Yeah, we finished talking about Louis, and then I lost you.
Okay, so Louis. We speak about him every week. Great rider. man, deserves all the accolades that come his way. Then another South African rider that was racing in France this weekend, Emile Van Niekerk. He raced the the GP, the Formi, and also another one, a 1-point pro race, rubbing shoulders with the best in the business. So 175 starters, and it was a big group sprint of 101 going to the line. Yeah, Mornay, doing as usual, doing a good team job. Fortunately, didn't make the finish line, but yeah, Mornay getting stuck in helping the team. Then, yeah, look, I think that pretty much seems to be it on the elite men racing side in Europe. A lot of the guys are back in South Africa prepping for getting ready at altitude. But if we hop over to China, we have 4 riders there: Willie Smit, Tyler Lange, Callum Ormiston, and Tiano de Silva. Last week, the 4 boys, they raced, they lined up the Tour of Benzhou, a one-day race in China. Tyler coming in 11th, Willie at 14th, and then Callum and Tiano pretty much rolling at the pack. And then, yeah, in the week coming up now, Callum, Tiano, and Tyler are racing the Tour of Hongzhang. It starts on Friday. It's a 3-day stage race. And then starting tomorrow, Willie Smith's going to be racing up for the 11 days, Puyong Lake race.
Yep.
So in Asia seems to be stage race season. So Willie's lining up tomorrow, 11-day stage race. And then Tyler, Callum, and Tiano will be lining up at the end of the week. So yeah, they got a weekend on stage races. Then we hop over to the Middle East, the Tour of Salah. We had Daniel Matthews and Warren Moolman. Steve, are you there?
Yep.
Okay.
Daniel Matthews, you said?
Daniel Matthews and Warren Moolman. Yeah, unfortunately, they both had DNS, but it was nice to see our current South African elite road race champion and a 23 road race champion getting the mix in races all over the world.
Yep.
Then staying in the eastern side of the world, currently in Indonesia, the Tour de Enteta is happening, and Emile Van Niekerk, current South African criterium champion, he's racing with his made-up pro cycling team. And on stage 2, he was like, YOLO, guys, see you in the douches. He soloed to stage win there. So that was a very good result, winning on the international stage.
I saw that on your social media. The congratulations to him on a brilliant result. That is proper.
Yeah, very, very, very good. Then we're going to hop over back to Europe, to Belgium. We have 2 juniors that are racing there. I did race this weekend. Gustav Roller, running for the Krabby Destiny team. He raced yesterday in Sept, and he rolled in at 30th place. Then a rider who was in Europe for the first part of the season came back for visa days, visa issues, the permanent green mamba issue. Yeah, he's Dean Wooley. He's back in Europe and racing in Belgium on Saturday at Lochristi. He ran 11th, and yesterday the Sint Interlinks, he rolled in at 8th. So nice to see Dean going back to Belgium, fighting fit and ready. And yeah, I bet you anything he knows that this is go time, and you'd want to get a result so he can secure himself a ride on a team for next year.
That is some good results there. Jeez. So Gustav with the 30th and Dean Wooley with an 11th and an 8th. That means he's way up in the front end of the field. That's proper.
Yeah, it's so lucky to see. And Steve, we say this almost every week. The reason why we do these videos and why we follow these guys is just to show and to prove for the youngsters here in South Africa that it can be done. Europe is where the racing happens, where everything is. But it doesn't mean that you're not there. It doesn't mean that, I'm so far behind. A guy like Dean, I know he lives somewhere down Mossel Bay, George area, and he's been in South Africa for the last 2 months, doing a lot of work training, getting ready, and he's gone there and he's delivered 2 fantastic results off the bat.
Yeah, no, it's brilliant. It is. It's part of that. How do I put this? When you see your fellow countrymen achieve something, you believe you can achieve it as well. Like the pathway Alan Hatley and Candice Hill said in XCO, so many riders coming up below them that are willing and capable and starting to believe that maybe they can do it. And it was a big field of riders that made it through. And look at this. We're seeing this with our youngsters now. How many juniors are in the mix all the time? Despite all the challenges that go on there. That green mamba issue, the number of visa days you got available, finding accommodation, finding support, finding food. It's not easy. It's a tough ask, but if you make it, you're the toughest of the tough.
Yeah. So then that pretty much wraps up for the international side. We hop back over into South Africa and to Pretoria. Well, the outskirts of Pretoria on Saturday was the Blue Diamond Classic, starting near Cullinan, heading out towards Bronkhorstspruit area, the big wide open roads there. As always, that race, the wind plays an issue. The group split up. There was some unsavory moments in the convoy where there was some video footage of not such lekker things that happened to some of our. Hopefully things can get taken further from there through the appropriate channels. But yeah, at the end of the day, it came down to it. The team on the block, on the South African local block, to be dominating and kicking ass and taking names, winning everything. Tiano Pro Cycling. They had 4 riders eventually that got away. Rodney Masamela, newly signed Brandon Downs, and Reynard Janssen van Rensburg. Yeah, they went to the winning post, and Rodney Masamela, he took the win there. So for him, that's 2 wins in a row. He won out at Buffelstrap, I think it was 2 or 3 weekends ago, and taking the win at the Blue Diamond Classic. With that, Reynard Janssen van Rensburg has held on to his leader's jersey in the overall series and looking in a very strong position to maintain that all the way through to the end of the series. Then on the women's side, Lisa Bone, she had a very good race. She did enough there to take the win in that. Second place, Lucy Young, also a new signing for the Tiano Pro Cycling. And with that, Lisa managed to do enough to keep her lead in the overall Mzansi National Road Series.
Yeah, she's been incredible throughout the year. Despite, halfway through a year, she was having knee surgery. And she's a properly strong young lady. Physio by training, so she knows how to handle all those things. But amazing that she wins race, has surgery, comes back, wins race. She's just. But having said that, we had this discussion in mountain biking around how someone like Matthew van der Poel goes to World Champs XCO and comes 29th or whatever it was, 31st. I can't remember.
5.5 minutes back. That's a beating.
5.5 minutes back. Yeah, that's a proper beating. And then you put him on the road or you put him on cyclocross and he's way up at the front, absolutely demolishing everybody. And a similar thing with Lisa and them. On the road, they have got it sorted. They are roadies completely. They go to the gravel racing and any of those proper gravel ladies are there. They thrash them. But put them on the road and suddenly it flips around completely. It's like horses for courses, if I can say. And I do think, though, that Lisa Bone's got the talent to be able to, she learns the skills of the mountain biking world, the gravel racing will be her next thing, and she's just going to start cleaning up there as well because she knows how to race the road tactics. And in gravel racing, quite often it comes down to those road tactics as well.
Yeah. Sure. I think both of us said it earlier this year at SA Champs. It was a pity that she wasn't there in the women's race because I'm pretty sure she would have added her own unique spin on the race and it might have played out a bit differently. Maybe not a different result, but I think the race would have been somewhat different. Lisa's a goer. She doesn't sit around and wait for things. She likes to lay it out and give a good decision on the race.
Yeah, and she's a good team leader as well. Her team comes together nicely when she's there. And I think it would have made a nice mix to the racing, knowing that it was a class field, that race there. And a couple more counter-attacks from riders would have made a difference to the strategy on the day.
Yeah, but it's going to come down to that old saying, could have, would have, should have, never happened. Hopefully next year, the 2026 African Road Championships, she can be on the start line and we can have a different type of race. It would be nice to see what the Cycle Nation ladies can deliver.
Talking about 2026 SA Champs, I believe they are looking at some variations on the road route. I got to ride one of the proposed routes about 2 weeks ago. Could be an interesting circuit. I don't know what Gerrit and the team have decided on. But as soon as we do know about that, I'll try and do a little preview of it, see if I can get a Strava file up for the guys, and the guys can check it out and tell us what they think. I know I thought for you and I, where tactics need to be applied to the course that you've got, and we had both sort of agreed that we thought it should stay like it is. Hey,
Yeah, I think that circuit, it's not an easy circuit, and if you go into it with the correct approach, you cause a lot of damage. Time your attacks correctly. Use the course that's available to you. Yeah, there were a lot of people saying, "Oh, it's this and it's that," but I think if you go and you look at it, you can do a lot of damage there. But Steve, I have to have a chuckle now. You were saying that you will upload a Strava file. So by that, are you saying, you're going to ride the full distance of the lead race? So they got reference.
no, I'll do one lap.
Oh, okay. Because I thought if you're going to do 180 Ks up.
We will extrapolate. Extrapolate. It's a big word for me, but that's what I'm going to do. I will extrapolate from it, yeah. And we can take we can assume that the wind conditions and everything else will be like 10 times harder on race day because my body weight is 10 times more as well.
There we go. Analytical 101.
Yes. Or excuse 101.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right. So, Steve, from the racing side, that's pretty much what I've picked up. Yeah, it's a bit of a, I would say quieter time, but it's like that transition time. You got the Tour de France, you got the Vuelta, you got the World Champs coming. We're kind of in that bubble. In South Africa, there has been some interesting announcements regarding race organizations and races that may or may not be going forward in the not too distant future. I think.
I think we can say it.
Yeah,
it's out in public knowledge now.
Yeah, Montecasino and Empress for this year. The De Villiers cycling has found themselves in a spot of bother, and I don't think those races will happen this year.
Yeah, according to the court papers that were released, all their functions have to stop. They're waiting for a firm to be appointed as liquidator. And I don't know what that means further on from there, but I do know that it means we won't be seeing those races happen in their current format at all, and specifically not by the current organizer. It's an unfortunate thing because Feyenoord's been a massive player and contributed to cycling in South Africa for like 30 odd years. It's been a ridiculous amount of effort and time he's put into the sport, and looks like, by the looks of things, getting a forced liquidation from someone that owed money to about a concert. So it wasn't even to do with cycling. And because it's owned by the company, that's it. All company assets, events, activities have to cease. And a very stressful time for Feyenoord. I don't know the details. I can't comment further. I don't know what it means. I just know those races not going to be happening.
Well, Steve, I think you've got a pretty good idea of what my perspective is regarding road racing, not necessarily mass participation events, road racing. There's a saying, in order for things to fall together, they first need to fall apart. I think this could start the process of things falling together. The current state of road racing, I'm not saying road mass participation, the current state of road racing is poor. The level is poor. The depth is poor. We spoke about it earlier with Tyrone. There's not enough riders. So the current format needs to change. I think it is doing that, and there's going to be space and opportunity here to grow the sport and move it in the right direction.
Yeah. And talking about that, you got one of those directions would be, we're big fans of crit racing, the circuit style racing. It does answer a lot of the problems that we have in South Africa. And coming up this weekend is
Gauteng.
Gauteng. That sounds like a brand name. I think you've just created your label. Gauteng.
It's a Gauteng Championships happening at Lord's View this weekend. We go across the board from the under 11s all the way up to the 60 plus groups. Yeah, I think it's a lacquer thing. Again, I say this almost every week. Criterium racing, circus style racing is the way to go for road racing. Again, not mass participation, road racing. like what happened on the weekend on the motorbike with Craig the Safe Note. That's out in the open roads. Unfortunate incident. Luckily, nothing serious happened from that. But there's always, not always. So that's too harsh of a term. It's often that there are these kind of incidences, whether it's with riders, against riders, vehicles, following vehicles, motorbikes. It's dangerous out there. And if you can start eliminating those potential dangers, having a closed circuit over and over and over, from a bike racer's perspective, a bike racer's fan, this is much better because you get to see people going past over and over and over and over. It creates much more of a positive racing environment. People want to watch. If you're as a bike racer, bike racers are show ponies. There's people around screaming and shouting. Hey, you're going to love it. You're going to want to show how good you are.
Yeah,
and I'm going to go back to what I said earlier. In order for things to fall together, they first need to fall apart. And I think they're falling apart now so that things can fall together.
Yeah. No, I think you're right on that one. So we're going to be seeing the guys racing on Sunday. Gauteng Criterium Champs.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to be getting my entries closed. When do they close? Soon. Now.
Thursday night, 8:00. So guys, please, we need to get entries in so we can allocate.
And it's pre-entry only, eh? Pre-entry only for any sort of chance. I'm sure those entries get in there.
Yeah, this is a provincial championship. It's not a Sunday morning league race like it normally is, where you can roll it into on the day. This is a championship. There's a lot more that goes on behind the scenes to make things work efficiently on the day. Yeah, please, guys, pre-registration only.
I'm actually going to share my screen for the page where they can do the entries so that they can check it. If this is it. Gauteng, is it showing it up there? Gauteng Provincial Criterium Champs, September the 21st. So you need to go to mysportsevents.co.za, go to the events list, and you'll find Criterium.
There we go.
Criterium Champs, Criterium. And brilliant racing, brilliant opportunity. I'm going to be there cheering the guys on from the sideline. I think there's going to be a couple of guys there. Jeremy always does a good job with it, and phenomenal racing. That circuit is an amazing circuit to be able to race on. Challenges every single style of riding, and all the categories available, everything else. So go to mysportsevents.co.za. That's where you'll be able to find it, and get those entries in. And then, Jeremy, talking about criteriums, we might as well say the news now. SA Criterium Champs.
Yes, on the weekend of the 1st and 2nd of November, Saturday the 1st of November, we're going to have SA Schools Crit Criterium.
Gauteng Schools, it's around under SA Schools. So the provincial champs for Gauteng Schools under SA Schools.
Gauteng Schools so Turbis Liver, he's very involved on the Cycle Lab series and the primary schools and high schools series. So kids with mountain bikes, bring your mountain bike, line up on the race on the criterium circuit at Steyn City, 1.8k lap. Then on Sunday, the big one, we're going to have South African criterium champs from juniors upwards. Juniors, under 23s, elites, 30 to 39, 40 to 49, 50 to 59, 60 plus. Also on the day, there's going to be opportunity for all our 11s, under 13s, under 15s, and under 17s. They can race on the same court. They can race as part of the same criterium festival, but it'll be only national championships from the juniors and above.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a great one. And to see the school cycling environment coming together with the high performance national level guys is really cool. It's one of the ambitions I've had for cycling, is to see these two entities come into contact with each other. And I think this will be one of the first ones where we're seeing school cycling, Gauteng school cycling, one of the biggest organizations, really adding their weight behind the road cycling environment, particularly because it's safe. It's a known environment. Steyn City have been absolutely incredible as well.
Yeah.
And we're looking forward to making the announcement public with the press releases and everything in the next couple of days. But just so you know, you've heard it first here on Chronicles of Motions with Jeremy and Steve, and SA Crit Champs happening the first weekend of November at Steyn City. So any of you guys interested, watch out. We'll send the press release as soon as the entry portal is ready.
Yeah, things are coming. Yeah, Steve, this has been happening or been going on in the background for quite a while now, and I think this is going to be something very, very special.
Yeah.
I hope that it can produce and encourage more things in the future, and I hope that something like this can gain a bit of speed and traction throughout South Africa, so that we can help promote and build the sport of road racing as well as mountain biking. Everyone can get together.
Yeah, they come together so nicely. And I think, I say this about our residential environment, the residential sales business side of South Africa. You're in a good thing when you find a property inside a secure estate. And I think our cycling, in terms of road cycling, is going to have to move to that environment as well. Walled off communities, safe, controlled environments, smooth surfaces. And you found that with Lord's View. We've got that with Stain City. Those are the solutions that are going to give us a future for road cycling. If not for the short-term future, for the long-term future, it could very well be that way as well. Anyway, Jeremy, I think that's about it for the show. Hey, I just wanted to share the route for World Champs one more time. So I'm going to go into that, and if you've got any comments on it as it goes, I will give my little bits to it. So let me put the sound on as well. A proper hilly circuit that they're going to be riding, and many laps going to be done. This is for the elite men's circuit, so it does have an extension to it. This is the main circuit that everyone's going to be racing. They do 9 laps of that. Then they hit an extension loop and they head out of town. 2 big climbs on that one. Mount Kigali, and you can see the altitude change in that one, and then back into the circuit again. It is going to be an entertaining one. So this is going to be happening not this Sunday, but the following Sunday will be the elite men. Elite women is on the Saturday, I believe. And it's going to be a super exciting. Let me switch YouTube off on that side of the computer. And it's going to be an exciting one. So lots to look forward to, lots happening. To all our South African riders out there, guys, remember, share your news with Jeremy or myself. If we know about it, we can share the news about it. If you keep it top secret, sometimes it's hard for us to find that information. Jeremy does a lot of work on the background. Show them all your scribbled notes, Jeremy.
Chicken scratching, you probably won't need too much. This is just an easy day.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's 3-4 pages, 4 or 5 pages.
Yeah, and we are just quiet time between what's been going on at the mountain bike world champs and now road world champs 1 week apart. Vuelta, Espana just finishing. There's activity all over the place. On top of that, we also had Jamie Riddle at the Ironman World Champs coming 10th. That was really cool. Rugby beating New Zealand. That was really cool. Athletics World Champs. I think we had a 7th place in the 100 meters, which is pretty cool. A sub 10 second. Was it another 9.95 or something? Yeah, Akani Simbayani not managing so well. He ended up cramping. Even rock stars like him have bad days. And Cycle Lab mountain biking, the high schools series for Gauteng last weekend, KZN and Northwest Province all having theirs. And this weekend coming, we've got primary schools mountain bike. So that's on Saturday. Sunday is Gauteng Provincial Criterium Champs at Lord's View. Get entry because entry is closed on Thursday. And then it's World Champs starting on Monday or Tuesday. Monday, I think it is. So much going on. Jeremy? Yeah, as always, thank you for your insights, your knowledge, your passion for the sport. We really do appreciate it. Until those riders get those results in. Guys, have a good one. We'll chat later.
Cheers, Bye.
Yeah.